I'd like to welcome everybody to the 2012 annual meeting of the SWPA. It's nice to see folks that are good, hard-working, honest people out here get an opportunity to spread the message. We're proud to support you guys through the Southeastern Wood Producers.
I'd like to say thank you.
We enjoy spending our weekends with you guys here.
We appreciate your loyalty in business.
It has been absolutely wonderful for me working with you folks.
Because our philosophy is if you're going to be involved with an industry, you need to support that industry just like it supports you.
And we thank you to all of our customers.
I'd like to thank each and every one of you.
We appreciate your business. We thank you and God bless you.
Churchill Logging is the Georgia Log of the Year for 2012.
Our new 2012 Florida Log of the Year, Mr. Harry Pickett.
Many of you are perpetuating a business, but more importantly, you're perpetuating a family.
You take one twig, you could break it. You take a bundle of sticks, it's strong. And we got to stick together.
What we do as an association is important, and we need everybody involved in order to really accomplish what needs to be done.
So get involved first with your association, but also be involved in politics. If you really want to make a difference in what goes on in your country and having a better life for your family, you need to be involved.
The SWPA is a very good organization. It's a lot of hands-on. They got a lot of good ideas, and they deal right with the loggers. It's not like it's a separate entity, you know. They go right in there and they talk to the loggers, and they get input from everybody as a whole.
This association has been to provide a better business climate for all who are engaged in the profession. And when it ceases to work for everybody, then it ceases to be what I want to be a part of.
To my fellow loggers, my advice would be to come in, go to the meetings, and get involved, because the SWPA does have good benefits for their members.
But the older I get and the more our economy changes, it's almost to the point now that you can't afford not to get involved. I mean, all the policies are going to be made whether we're there or not.
This conference is a good meeting to come to. You learn all kinds of things. Every year, you know, we learn a little bit more. Different manufacturers will tell you different things. Different co-sponsors will. You know, a lot of the guys found out about the tire program that we're working with, the filter program that we're working with, and all those things will help save them money in the long run. So it's a good thing for those guys to come out and take part in this.
They're missing an opportunity to network with other loggers and talk about issues and problems that affect us regardless of if you're in Georgia, Florida, whatever state you're in.
It's an opportunity to meet other people that see the same thing every day and fight the same fight.
Southern yellow pines, the byproducts, the things that are made from it. There's not hardly a human on the face of the earth that is not touched in one way or the other by the products that the forests ultimately yield when processed at the different mills and facilities.
Logging is sort of, everybody looks at it as we're raping the forest, but we're not. For every tree we cut, we normally plant 2 back. It is a very big industry, and people don't know what all our product goes into. It goes into everything from material, screens for TVs, clothing. I mean, it's in so many different products, plastic bottles, and people just don't understand that. We need to educate the people more than what we're doing today.
We provide a lot of products for the general public that most people don't know about. Educating the public on those products and what we do, and making them understand that we're not actually bad for the environment. Someone earlier today was talking about deforestation. Well, deforestation is when you remove the forest and pave it over, build buildings, build cities. Deforestation is not harvested timber, and that is a huge misconception in our industry about deforestation. We are actually doing a great job to reforest behind ourselves.
What we do provides the raw materials for a lot of the basic necessities of life.
I want to thank the SWPA for inviting me down here. Y'all have been great hosts. We had a great time so far. And you know, what I've learned the last couple years as I've been traveling a little bit, that all loggers, for the most part, are good people. There's still a lot of good people in this world, and the cream of the crop is in this room and in the logging associations. I think mainly because of the type of work we do. We're out in the woods in nature, what God's created, and we go out there and we work hard to make a living. I guess it's been 4 years ago now. The lady from Southern Logging Times called me and wanted to do an article on my job, which I said, well, finally, you know, somebody's recognized my hard work, and I'm, you know, finally made it, you know. So the lady came out to the woods, and we talked for about an hour and a half, and you know, told her, you know, what we all understand how the articles are. It's just about what you do and why you do it. And when we got through with the conversation, she told me, she goes, Mr. Goodson, I got to tell you, I was supposed to do this article last year, but when I left the office, they gave me the wrong name, and I actually interviewed your cousin. So I just kind of laughed about it, didn't think a whole lot about it. And probably a month or so later, I get a call from a lady named Catherine from Los Angeles, California, and she said that she worked with Discovery and wanted to do a documentary. And then after she convinced me that it wasn't a prank, and then all I could think of, I said, now, where'd you say you was from? She goes, Los Angeles. And I'm thinking, she's a tree hugger. She's going to shut me down, you know. So I hung up on her. I said, ma'am, thanks, but no thanks, you know. So I agreed to do it. And, you know, stupid me, I'm thinking the guy's going to come out for a couple of days, do a little film, and that'd be it. I missed the wee part. The next morning, we pull up, and there's actually 4 SUVs. There's 13 people climb out of trucks or SUVs, and as I'm pulling in, we was 2 hours from home, and I pulled up on the deck side about half asleep, and this camera guy is running the truck down, you know, running beside, shining in the window. I'm thinking, what have I got myself into, you know? So, and it actually takes 10 days, 150 to 200 hours of footage for one 44-minute show. And when they first told me that, I said, are we actually that bad that it takes that much footage? He said, no, that's just the industry standard. That's what they go by. And whatever is filmed during those 10 days is used for that episode, and then it's discarded, and they start with the next 10 days. So I can look back now, and I can see how God has had his hand in it. And all y'all guys out here that log, you know that there's so many variables that we deal with on a daily basis that I don't know how somebody can log and not have Jesus, you know, because he watches after me constantly. They didn't pick me because I was smarter than anyone. I mean, it's just God's will. What we do is a dangerous job. It's stressful, and it's amazing how fast things can go wrong in succession. I mean, 1 minute the job's running perfect. 5 minutes later, you know, I've seen it where both loaders are broken, the stumper's broke. You know, I mean, like
they'll call you on the radio. This is bad, this is broke, that's bad. I mean, and within 5 minutes, the whole job shut down. So God has really been with us, with me the entire time. And for people that's got something to say about cutting trees down, is all the LCD TV screens, your blackberries, your blueberries, all them things, the screens come from wood fibers. And I didn't know that. And after going over there, talking with those people yesterday, I mean, they actually got a product out now, and I'm sure y'all know about it. It's, for lack of a better term, it's a plastic bag you can lay down in a mud hole, and it sucks all the water up out of the mud hole and purifies the water and actually makes it different flavors that you could send to third world countries. Because y'all know as well as I do that 90% of the problem in third world countries is they ain't got no clean water to drink. I mean, things like that need to be told. Because, I mean, that makes the difference. I mean, when people were riding behind a log truck and the bark's flying off, hitting their windshield, and they're cussing because the truck's slowing them down, if they say, well, that guy there's saving lives making those bags, or that guy there's the reason I can see my TV clearly, I mean, it makes a difference. They'll just slow down and back off and let the truck go ahead. So I think we need to get out and tell people as much as we can what we do, not to get involved. A politician told me one time, he said they've got all these people up there in their left ear telling them what they want to do, and then nobody's for us is up there speaking to tell them the way it should be done. So I take my hat off to y'all, what y'all have done here, getting everybody together, and Charles had told me some of the things that y'all have accomplished, and that's good. I just hope our association can grow and be as successful as y'all's is. And a lot of people would say something about killing trees. I said, listen, we hug everyone before we lay it down. We actually got a T-shirt.
Please give a hand to all of our esteemed panelists.
What is the one thing that you have learned about Congress that most people do not know but should know if they wish to get more involved in the legislative process?
Congress is a reflection of America. It is not Congress's responsibility to provide you a rosy future, because you can't cede that responsibility to members of Congress. I believe in personal responsibility. When you have an association and you come up to us on a fly-in and you come meet us, you have a great impact on us. You keep your issues in the forefront of our minds. Now, I will say this to you, if you come to DC, I want to see you. I want to, have a quick meeting with you. But I'm not your problem. You got to spend time while you're there meeting with people who are your problem. And so what we would like to do, and I've offered this, I know, to you before, we want to help you get into offices that perhaps you need to get into.
Congressman, I think many of us here have often wondered, do the members of Congress, particularly these 30%ers, do they really understand the impact that our industry has on the economy of the United States, and how important it is to have professional loggers, enabled to be successful and thrive in this country?
Educate people that don't know about the good work you do, the jobs you create, the economic activity you create in your communities. Come up there. Beat the pavement. Knock on those doors. You stand in the face of these people and you let them know how much the timber industry and forestry affects the overall economy and what it means to you and your spouse and your children and those that work on your team. Be a good Samaritan. Pick up that logger that is struggling and left on a road beaten to death by life. Pick him up. Put him on your donkey. Help heal him. Put it on your tab and invest in him.
Congressman, thank you again for joining us today, and thank you for the work you do with this industry.
Thank you.
My question is, how closely do state and federal representatives work together? What interaction do you have with those that serve on the state level? An example would be with the truck weight reform bill.
I do not work closely with the elected officials on the state level, other than the fact that when we have individuals that seek our office for state issues. For example, if someone were to call our office for a Medicaid issue, Medicaid is a state issue. So I work with, we make sure we get people that come into our office to where they need to go. The problem with the federal government is it has grown, is expanded so much, and it has literally choked out the authority of the states to have say in their future of the citizens of their state. And I think the numeric nutrient criteria is a perfect example of how we are trying to bring that back to give more power to the states. I want to encourage you because what I see here is wonderful. You're concerned, or you wouldn't be here. We've got to grow your numbers, and we've got to expand your influence. But you're doing a great job. I thank you for allowing me to be here today.
With that, give the congressman and the panelists a round of applause.